Hello and welcome to RC Flight Review. Today I'm going to do a review video of this guy, the Happymodel Mobula 6. Here's the box, and here's what comes in the box. I switched my frame to a blue frame. You actually get this white frame when you get it in the box. You get a little 1S LiPo charger. Can be switched from LiPo to lithium high volt. You get a little Phillips head screwdriver for unscrewing the motors and canopy. Get a prop remover. I broke mine from bending it too much. You get 4 Happymodel branded 300 mAh 1S lithium high volt batteries. And you get a full extra set of props. Also in the box it comes with this lovely instruction manual. Here's the specs. The motors are EX0802, 19,000 kV, Happymodel branded. Flight controller in here, it's your flight controller, ESC, VTX, and receiver. Mine's the FrSky version, but you can buy other ones. You can buy FlySky, you can buy DSMX even. The propellers are 31mm gem fan, tiny whoop props. I'm not really sure what the pitch is. I also want to say I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's really fun to fly around indoors and outside. I mean, it's not really meant to be flown outside, but you can fly it outside if you really want to fly it outside. If you want to fly outside, you'd really be better off buying like a bigger one, like a toothpick or something, if you still want to stick to micros. But you can fly it outside. It's mostly meant to be a house flyer, though. You can fly it inside. I've flown it in my basement a lot. So, as far as batteries go, I used to use the Happymodel 300 mAh batteries, but I flew them a lot, and they're a bit broken now. And they still work, but I don't really feel safe charging them, and no, they don't really perform very well. Currently, I'm using the GMB 300 mAh 1S lithium high volt batteries. They're pretty good. They're not quite as beat up as the ones now, but they're getting pretty close to it, so, you know. As far as flight time goes, I used to get around 3 minutes or so when my batteries were like new out of the box. And then the batteries kind of depleted in performance, and then I got about 2.5 minutes or so, I'd say. Then I flashed JESC to the ESCs with 48 kilohertz PWM, and I started getting about 3 minutes of flight time again, so that's pretty good, I'd say. And as far as flight performance goes, I really can't tell you that much about flight performance because I'm not really a pro pilot at this point. I can fly pretty good, but not really enough to tell you that much. I mean, it handles quite well. The tune that it comes with is not perfect, but it does get the job done. It's when you start descending from a high altitude, you get a lot of prop wash and a lot of wobble, and it's kind of hard to pull out a power loop, so I still haven't been able to do a power loop for that reason. But I might just try to tune it out sometime once I learn how to pigeon a little bit. As far as durability goes, the frame is pretty durable. I mean, I've flown probably over 1,000 flights on this, and I broke it a lot, but it's still pretty durable. And the other thing is, my basement floor is concrete, so that really doesn't help whenever you fall from the air. It's also quite cold in the basement where I fly, especially in the winter, so I think the frame probably gets a bit brittle. This is my original frame. I've got it broken there, I've got it broken there. You can see it's broken along the hoop there, and it's broken there as well. It's broken in a lot of places. I started repairing it with this E6000 glue. It's really great stuff and recommended from quite a few different places. It works really great. I repaired the joints, and after a certain point it started to just get really, really beat up, as you can probably tell. It really just did start to get really beat up. Also, the canopy is actually quite tough too. I bought an extra canopy here, but I've figured out afterwards that I didn't actually need to buy an extra canopy. These canopies are really tough. They don't look that tough, but they are really tough. As far as durability of the components and the motors go, I've been having problems with these EX0802 motors. The ring of magnets would actually separate from the rest of the bell, and then I would have to squeeze it up with some pliers. Some pliers here. You would have to take the motor, take it out, and squeeze the two halves together. Which does work for quite some time, until I think I broke 1 or 2 of mine. and they just don't spin anymore. So I'm not sure why, but they just don't spin. As far as the propellers go, when you do bonk into something, sometimes the frame will bend into the propellers. You can see it's kind of bendy, so if you really smash into something really hard, it will bend the frame into the propellers, and then the tips of the propellers do get pretty beat up. I think I got an example here. You can see the tips are getting pretty beat up. I just replaced them because I've got plenty of extra propellers. As far as battery charging goes, originally I used this little 1S charger that it came with, but it wasn't long before I got really, really sick and tired of using this thing. So I made this little adapter cable that you can put into any old charger. Mine's this one, AC charger. But you can stick it in there, and it pretty much acts as though 4 of your batteries are one 4-cell battery. Most 1-cell chargers don't have a storage charge function, so it's really useful for storage charging them. But also, it's just really convenient that you can already use your charger that you have for maybe like bigger 5-inch drones, or maybe you've got fixed wing. I got into fixed wing before I got into FPV drones, so I already had this charger that I was using for fixed wing batteries, bigger batteries. So now I could use it with this to charge all my tiny whoop batteries. Not these ones, but GMB batteries. There we go. There's some of my GMB batteries. And as far as my personal thoughts go, I really like it. It's a lot of fun to fly around the house. I mean, the motors are okay. The motors slip, but it's not really a big deal. I mean, I think the reason why they slip because I was really hitting it hard on the floor, and my basement floor is concrete, so whenever it would come down, it would kind of shove the motors down, and I mean, the glue probably isn't the best, and it would get brittle over time, and I mean, I flew it a lot, I crashed it a lot, so it's not really, and yeah, it is a lot of fun to fly around. I mean, the flight time obviously isn't great, but it's really fun, like, even if you already own a bigger drone, it's a lot of fun just to be able to fly around inside, and if it's too wet, too rainy, too cold outside, you just don't want to go outside, and you can just set up your drone and fly around inside. It's a lot of fun. As far as beginners go, I was a beginner when I bought this. I really liked it. It worked really well for me. I learned how to fly quite well. I learned how to fly in angle mode originally, but now I've been flying a lot in acro mode. So, yeah, I mean, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I definitely do recommend it.